It's sad that there is a loneliness epidemic going on where people have little to no friends anymore. In extreme cases, some people have no friends whatsoever throughout their entire lives. Or in cases like mine, and most likely yours, you had friends and you either drifted apart, had to walk away, or all of the above. And anyone who tells you otherwise about how to approach this most likely is giving you bullshit. And I'm going to give you the cold, hard truth here. And if you are sick and tired of bullshit and actually want to level up through truth and be held accountable and actually make real, genuine friends who are like-minded, then join for free my community. It's called the No Bullshit Society. The link's in the description and in the pinned comment just down below. So we must remember that we lost friends because we grew up. And I'm not talking about just going from high school to in your 40s. You can grow up many, many times, emotionally, mentally. Your morals, your values, even your faith, and so on. And it comes a point that the pressures and stresses of life, as well as your personal growth, all come into fruition at the same time. For example, you want to get healthy. You want to make a shitload of money, or become financially free. You want to progress in your career, work on a project, whatever. Sprinkle on top of that your financial issues, paying your bills, mortgage, rent, etc. Personal problems with family, the stress of having a job, a business, whatever. Life just is difficult. And as you get older, especially after your 30s, your tolerance for bullshit and nonsense reaches a dramatic all-time low. So when that happens, it makes you think. Because in the past, you had a lot more tolerance for it. You were way more insecure. You wanted to be liked and no one to say a bad word about you. You people please, all that shit. As a result of that, you kept around really shit people. Shit friends. And they were lucky that you even called them friends. Because what is a friend? Let's define that first of all. A friend can mean many different things. A friend is, someone who's always got your back. Someone who brings you up when you're down. That's cliche. That's bullshit. A friend is someone who you have shared interests with. You enjoy each other's company. And you basically experience things in life, something as trivial as a coffee or a meal, something as major as perhaps living together or traveling the world, and you enjoy the entire process. There's no games, there's no malicious, there's no nastiness, there's no bullshit. That's it on a very surface, superficial level. Now, a true friend, a good friend, is somebody who shows up, obviously, in the good times in your life. You know those times. They're few and far between, but they're there. Perhaps major life events. Perhaps you've had a kid. Perhaps you've got married. Perhaps you got promoted in your job. Perhaps you've made money. Whatever. They're there. And they're like cheerleaders, like happy for you in your success. But also they're there for you in the shit times, with the health problems and with the other situations that go on and the setbacks, the failures, the depression, anxiety. And they show up exactly equally in both. They're there for you for the equal amount in both times. Do not misunderstand a true friend to be there for you in the good times, but not there for you in the bad times, and vice versa. Especially the vice versa, where they're there for you in the bad times, but why are they not at my wedding? Why are they not making an effort? Because they actually are so fucked up that they enjoyed your suffering. So that's not a true friend. So now we know the definition of a friend and what a true healthy friendship looks like. The question is, why is there a lonely epidemic going on? And why have most people not got any friends anymore? We can obviously go down the route that people are more antisocial than ever before. And rightly so, especially since 2020, people working remotely, the cost of living, and the actual disgustingness of being out in public. I went out with some friends recently, and, well, ironically, and we went to a restaurant, and the food was atrocious, as was the service. Then we went into a pub, and like I felt like a sardine, and I just wanted to get the fuck out. It was awful. I said, guys, this is shit, I'm leaving. And I left. They chose up, I'm out, see you later. But that's one thing. Going out is shit. Also, you're probably not in high school anymore. And even if you are, or college, university, people have got very weird nowadays and very strange. I've spoken about this many, many times on this channel. So you have to ask yourself a question. Do I want to make a friend for the sake of making a friend? Or do I actually genuinely like this individual? And is this person going to offer anything of value to my life? It is the prime reason why people get pets, because dog is man's best friend, right? And also you don't get any of the bullshit with the dog. So this is where people are stuck. We're in an antisocial world where narcissists and extroverts are thriving. They've taken over, right? It's like a zombie apocalypse of all these arseholes, basically. And most likely you're not like that. Or you were like that, thought you were, and then you grew the fuck up. So where do you stand now? Do you have to change your personality and go out there, be more outgoing? Yes, but only if you truly want to. If you truly want friendship, then you have to think a little bit outside of the box. But if you don't want it, the last thing you should do is have a friend for the sake of it. I remember in 2021, a year after my dad died, you knew what happened in 2020, all a load of shit. I booked myself a trip to Cyprus. I wanted to go to a hotel and just be pampered, eat, drink, sleep, see, beach, rest. Unfortunately, a loser tagged on to me that time and that holiday and couldn't leave me the fuck alone. And through my sort of like grief and despair of what was going on in my life, I thought, okay, I'll be friends with this guy. Okay, I'll give him a chance, because it's better than being on my own. He almost ruined my holiday, and thank God he left halfway through the trip anyway, because he had to go back to work. And the 7 days he was gone were the most beautiful, relaxing, and blissful of them all. I can actually still remember it. Like I said, it's not about making friends for the sake of it. Because there's one friend, one relationship that needs to be improved before we even entertain the thoughts of other people. Before we even go down that route. And that is the friendship and relationship with ourselves. Now, we've people pleased enough, haven't we? We've put them on pedestals. We just wanted to be liked, wanted to, have fun, and, we feel like we missed out on so much. But are we the sort of person that we would be friends with? Think about that. If you were another person and you saw you, would you be friends with you? I asked myself that question a few years back. Would I want to be friends with a person like me? And the answer was no. And it's why I lost a lot of friendships for many reasons. But also, I did so to work on myself. And I said, what sort of man would I need to become in order to be friends with a person like me? Well, way more realistic. Way more no fluff, no bullshit. But also more chilled, more fun, less expectation, less anxiety, less people pleasing, and also comfortable in my own skin. So I started doing exposure therapy and doing things I would do with a friend on my own. For example, going on vacation on my own, going to the movies on my own, going to the theatre on my own, going out for dinner. I burst through the anxiety and the stress and also the rudeness of staff who look at you. Is it just a table for one on a Friday night? Yeah, just me. Why should I miss out on these wonderful things because I don't have a friend or even a date at the time to go for or with? So I went for it. And here's the amazing thing. Once you start doing that more and more, you start enjoying your own company. You start realizing, hey, I like this. This is peaceful. This is easy. I know what I want. I know what I don't like. Once you stop wallowing in self-pity like a little loser, and you've got even just basic finances to afford simple things, a meal, a coffee, whatever, it's good. And here's the most amazing part. That natural, no bullshit confidence you get will attract other people like this, who are on your wavelength, like-minded. And then suddenly, you've gone from no friends to the right friends. And I went from no friends to the right friends, and then the right woman in my life. And now, I have a busy calendar, beautiful friendships, and connections, especially in my community, the No Bullshit Society. So if you're one of these people who lacks those friendships on that deeper level and wants to connect with people from all around the world, all ages, all backgrounds, all races, then you've got to join today. It's free to join, and you'll be amazed at the people there. It's free to join, like I said. The link's in the description and in the pinned comment down below. I don't give two shits why you have no friends. It is completely irrelevant. You haven't got any. Fine. But right now, at this very moment, if you learn to be friends with yourself and you ask that question, am I the sort of, would I be friends with this person? Would I be friends with me? Look at yourself in the mirror. And when you answer that question, no, you ask, what the hell do I need to do to become that person? It solves all of those issues. And then when you become that person, you enjoy your life, you'll be inundated with the most beautiful connections you've ever had in your life.